Welcome to today's lecture on gastroenterology. In this session, we'll be diving into the anatomy and physiology of the gastrointestinal GI system, which is essential to understanding digestive health. Whether you're studying for exams or just curious about how digestion works, this lecture will break things down into simple concepts. Gastroenterology is the branch of medicine that deals with the digestive system. The GI system is responsible for breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and eliminating waste. Our digestive process starts from the mouth and ends at the rectum, and every part in between plays a vital role. Let's start by breaking down the anatomy. The gastrointestinal tract is a long tube starting with the mouth and ending at the anus. Here's a simple way to visualize it. Mouth, where digestion begins. We chew food, mix it with saliva, and break it down into smaller pieces. Esophagus, the tube connecting the mouth to the stomach. The food moves here via swallowing. Stomach, a sac-like structure where food is mixed with gastric juices, acid, and enzymes to further break it down. Small intestine, this is the longest part of the digestive system. It's made up of 3 sections, the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. The small intestine is where most nutrient absorption happens. Large intestine. After the small intestine, the remaining material moves to the large intestine, where water and salts are absorbed. It ends in the rectum. Anus, the final exit point for waste in the form of feces. The esophagus is a muscular tube connecting the throat to the stomach. It plays a critical role in transporting food, and its dysfunction can lead to conditions like GERD, requiring careful management. The stomach is responsible for food digestion through acid and enzyme secretion. Disorders such as peptic ulcers and gastritis are common, necessitating a thorough grasp of gastric physiology for effective treatment. The small intestine is where most nutrient absorption occurs. Its intricate structure and function are essential for maintaining health, and diseases like celiac disease can significantly impact this process. The large intestine absorbs water and forms stool. Conditions like irritable bowel syndrome and inflammatory bowel disease affect its function, requiring a nuanced understanding of its physiology and pathology. Liver. The liver produces bile, which helps in the digestion and absorption of fats. It also processes nutrients absorbed by the small intestine and detoxifies harmful substances. Gallbladder. The gallbladder stores bile produced by the liver and releases it into the small intestine when needed, especially after eating fats. Pancreas. The pancreas has both an endocrine function, producing insulin to regulate blood sugar, and an exocrine function, producing digestive enzymes that help break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates in the small intestine. Understanding the microbiome's role in the gut is increasingly important. It influences digestion, immunity, and even mental health, highlighting the need for a holistic approach in gastroenterology. Diagnostic techniques in gastroenterology include endoscopy, colonoscopy, and imaging studies. These tools are essential for visualizing the gastrointestinal tract and diagnosing various conditions accurately. Treatment in gastroenterology ranges from lifestyle modifications to medications and surgery. A comprehensive understanding of treatment options is crucial for managing diseases effectively and improving patient outcomes. Now, let's talk about the physiology, how all these parts work together to digest food. Think of digestion like a relay race. Each part of the system passes the baton to the next. Let's break it down step by step. Ingestion. The process starts when food enters the mouth, where enzymes in saliva, like amylase, begin breaking down carbohydrates. The teeth mechanically break food into smaller pieces. Propulsion. Once we swallow, the food travels down the esophagus through a process called peristalsis, a series of wave-like muscle contractions that push food toward the stomach. Mechanical and chemical digestion. The stomach does 2 main things. Mechanical digestion. The stomach churns and mixes food with gastric juices. Chemical digestion. Enzymes and hydrochloric acid break down proteins into smaller molecules. This process turns food into a semi-liquid substance called chyme. Absorption. The small intestine is where most of the magic happens. The inner lining has tiny finger-like projections called villi and microvilli that increase surface area, allowing for absorption of nutrients like proteins, fats, and carbohydrates into the bloodstream. This is why it's so long, because we need a lot of space to absorb all the nutrients. Water reabsorption. In the large intestine, most of the water and salts are reabsorbed. What's left is solid waste, which moves to the rectum. Excretion. Finally, the remaining waste material is expelled through the anus. This is the body's way of getting rid of undigested food and other waste products. Did you know that the digestive system has its own nervous system? This is called the enteric nervous system, ENS, often referred to as the second brain. The ENS controls most of the digestive processes without involving the brain, making digestion an automatic process. It regulates things like peristalsis and enzyme secretion. In conclusion, gastroenterology is a dynamic and essential field in medicine. By understanding its anatomy, physiology, and pathology, medical students can better diagnose and treat digestive disorders, enhancing patient care.